right?
Yes. Good
It's,
morning.
it's so satisfying to press this button when we touch something that we didn't even fully finish to grasp.
Yes, I know you really enjoy to push the button. Yeah. Yeah.
But before we continue on this path, where are you now?
Well, I'm still in Tuscany, the same like where I was in the last podcast. But this afternoon I'm leaving. I'm first going to another place, Bergamo in Italy, and then to Switzerland for some days. So,
I got it. That's the like the earthly plane.
uh-huh.
And oh, where are you energetically? On which pathways?
Ah, pathways that become more and more fluid, actually. Fluid, flow, flexibility, everything. Like, the weaver name that we've chosen is becoming more alive every day. Like energetically, everything is like woven together all the time. Also, in where one of the reasons why I go to Switzerland, for example, a lot of new threads, a lot of new potential that's not born because it was always there, but it's like coming alive, something like that.
Wow. And you're even going to a famous mountain again.
Yes, in a little late in September. Yes, I'm going to United States and I'm going to Mount Shasta again. And Mount Shasta is, I think we talked about it sometimes before, is known as the root chakra of the earth. And it's known for the extraterrestrial life and that you also really see and feel it. And I've seen with my own eyes when I was there 2 years ago that many times there are UFOs in the shape of clouds above the mountain, very big ones. Um, they say that it's like in the mountain, deep inside the mountain, live the people that survived the Lemuria. When I was there 2 years ago, I have also seen myself of flows of color and energy flying through the trees and well, things I never saw anywhere else. Um, it's also known for Bigfoot, they call that you can meet people that are really big from other.
Giants, yeah.
Yes,
Something that we also have on this island here on Sardinia. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But of course, I mean, Sardinia is the last remaining part of Atlantis, and this mountain is supposed to be a part of Lemuria. So, um, yeah, I can't wait. Of course, I don't know what's all gonna happen, but I'm sure that there is a lot gonna happen, and hopefully that I'm gonna meet a lot of beings.
And if people join like I'm just giggling a bit inside because suppose that someone just found our podcast and they start with this one, right? And they hear you talking about these things and what are you going to do again? What's the reason that you go to America?
For a for a very big
Let's
tech
just you
conference.
know a diamond has a lot of facets, right?
Yes,
So let's just touch a few because
yes,
we're
it's
called the
true.
weavers, right? So let's bring in some of the things that we are weaving.
Well, I'm actually going there for a big tech conference in San Francisco, which is all about AI, agentic enterprises, that kind of things. and in the world of Salesforce. And so that's why I go. But
So you're a
since
tech
I
lead.
like, yes, also, and a weaver and a magician and a dragon and a cyclist and everything. A world traveler, a gypsy, a homeless and not. So yeah, and but I don't want to fly to the other side of the world for a few days in a tech conference. So only. So that's why I go 1 week before and go back to this mountain that yeah, it's so special that I'm really, really happy to go back and explore new paths. Literally, there are a lot of hikes that because when I was there 2 years ago, it was snow because it was February. So there was a limit. You could not go really high. And by the way, it's I think about 4,000 meters. So it's not the idea that I go to the top. But it will be a different world, literally, because there's no snow, I guess, in September. There's also a big lake, where I did some ice baths in that time. And I really want to go in the lake again. Probably it's a bit warmer now, but if not, then I would be happy. So yeah, and there are all kind of also what we call just like normal human beings. There are the community there is like colorful as I also didn't see in a lot of other places. There are all kind of creatures and human beings that are totally being the way they are. Um, uh, so what society usually calls weird people. So it's to be there is well, I love it because you run into so many people. You think, okay, wow, amazing, and then you have conversations that, wow, amazing, about okay, kind of everything. It can be very
Right.
vague and floating until really doing yoga with your feet in the earth. So for me, it's perfect. First, I have this for a week, and then driving to San Francisco and jumping in the crazy pool of this conference, which is from morning to evening, full with a conference with meeting a lot of people with a lot of parties, where usually the real business happens. So it's jumping universes, and
Nice.
I love both. Yes.
Wow. And just to get to the topic that we were discussing before we hit the button, is there anyone you have to ask permission to make those travels?
Oh, yes, permission. We were there. Well, oh, actually, no. Oh, yeah, me. Yeah, it's kind of yourself, which is interesting because our topic,
Who gave you permission to live such a rich life of experiences?
yeah, this answer sounds easy, but it's actually not. But it's me because it's um true practice. And because before we hit the button, we were talking about, the idea of permission and why we ask so much permission and what is actually the deepest root of permission. Because I see all the time, beautiful pictures in my timelines. It says, the river doesn't ask permission to flow, and yet it does. The sun doesn't ask permission to shine, and permission to grow. The rabbit doesn't ask permission to hop around the forest. So what do we do? Ask permission, and who we ask permission
And that's
from?
that's why it's so beautiful how clear and pure you answered my question. Who did you do you have to ask permission for? Like the first layer that comes up in me is like your parents or your partner or your boss or the mayor or the king or whatever, like Like
Yes.
in this realm, well, you and me are living a life that there's not really, of course, we are not like totally detached, but we don't have to ask a boss for permission or a parent or a loved one, am I allowed to go?
No.
So, and yes, that was in your life and my life like a journey to
Yes.
free ourselves from asking permission because you have to ask permission, right? There is a Dutch song, and it came up to me because our daughter is here, and she had a beautiful girlfriend here where she also had a lot of adventures when they did an internship on Mallorca. So they are very much intertwined. And something happened, and then she said, "Oh, I have to ask this to my mom." And there's a Dutch song, and it goes like this: Even aan mijn moeder geven, ik zweer je dat ze dat zei. Ze lachte er niet eens bij. And this song came up, and it now
Yeah.
comes up again into my system.
Yes. And what is the name of the girl in the song?
I don't know. You do?
Anne-Marie.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's all connected. And so that when we were started to contemplate about permission, and you gave this beautiful way of looking at it by river, sun, and that a river just flows, the sun is just shining, they don't ask permission. Maybe we are finding new words to explain the road to freedom.
Yes, because permission is a big limitation for freedom. That is for sure. And it's also good to dive into what is the real root for permission, because people might think now, yeah, but you guys have easy talking because whatever. There are always reasons coming up. Which is not true, but okay, it doesn't matter.
Reduction paradox. Everything is flowing at the same time. Go on.
Yes, so it's when you let go of that, then it's the permission you are asking is always like to yourself. And why did we develop that habit? Because you also didn't ask permission to be born, I think. So, and you didn't ask permission to do your first breathing and crying when you literally were just delivered. So why do we develop this? It must be another kind of putting on layers of conditioning. Of course, because you are raised that you have to ask permission for the school teacher of your parents or things like that. And also, we're not saying permission is wrong, because I also hear that voices coming already, but it's very limiting.
So if I listen to you guys, then I don't have to ask permission for anything.
Yeah, like that. I mean, so that's what I heard. Yes. But it's very interesting to dive into that you're actually only asking permission to yourself, and that's a choice, like everything is. But it's also it's liberating, but also maybe very disrupting, because if you are used to having like a safety structure, and imagine to ask permission for nothing anymore to yourself, mostly, then everything's open.
What comes up in me, and what the whole world, the word permission is triggering in me. I had some bosses in my life. Someone who was my boss.
Boss. Ah, yes. Okay. Yes.
Or a manager, or the investor or whatever. There is always someone above you when you step into that kind of in the realm of hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yes.
always someone above you. And also like in the church, right? Then God is the boss. So you have to ask permission. It has also a lot to do because and what came up in me is I myself have been a boss for other people several
Mm-hmm.
times. And the voice I'm hearing is like, yeah, but I didn't do anything wrong because I asked permission and you said yes.
So it's
not my fault.
no,
I
exactly.
cannot do anything about it. I asked permission. I followed the rules. I did everything you asked me. And now everything is like a big, as they say in Italy, casino.
Casino.
It's a chaos. Everything is falling apart. But don't blame me because I asked permission,
Yeah, but that's the kind of safety net structure,
which doesn't exist.
which doesn't exist, of course. Yes. And it's also, again, about good or wrong. If you did something wrong or you did something good, which also is not existing. So that's, to me, this is very clear example of what we call the matrix, because you can literally see that we built this like a matrix, imaginary.
It's pressing my chest. It's like getting my breath away. It's like suffocating. It's pressure.
And it always goes hand in hand with guilt feelings, which is an interesting one also, because if you don't ask permission, you can feel guilty about something. If you asked permission, but whatever, something went wrong, you feel guilty. It's another interesting thing, because why? Again, the sun doesn't feel guilty, the river doesn't feel guilty, the tree doesn't feel guilty. Why
The
don't we do
fire
that?
that just burned down a whole forest doesn't feel guilty.
No. So why?
The one who put out his cigarette without really, he feels guilty.
Yes. Probably, yes.
Maybe not. Maybe he had a
Maybe,
good
maybe
time.
not. Maybe it was necessary for nature to burn to get new fertile soil. But why? Why did we develop all these kind of weird
Well,
habits?
maybe don't go into the question why, because I think we won't find an answer, and when we find the answer, it's not bringing us anything.
No, true. You're right.
What comes up in me is it's a realm. So if I'm stuck in the blame and shame and right and wrong and guilty and fear and asking permission to be free, and
Yes.
it's a realm. And I can choose to step in or out of this realm. Not always. Yesterday, I fell into the realm, and I had to do a lot of work to step out of
Yeah,
it.
but that also shows that it actually hurts you. Well, at least takes a lot of your energy when you stay in this realm where you don't want to be.
Yet you don't want to be, I don't know. But if I'm looking back at what I felt yesterday, like I had a conversation that brought me into the world of blaming and shaming and right and wrong. So, and of course, when you live in a community and you organize events and you're the boss, because I'm the boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's easy to be blamed and shamed and follow that route. When I look back, I've been stuck in this energy draining realm,
Mm-hmm.
like in the past several times. And sometimes it took years. And then you're depressed, and then you live in this dark night of the soul.
The dark night of the soul. Yes.
I'm learning to step out of it more easily.
Mm-hmm.
So where I'm dreaming of is that I also can choose to step into it, because now I fall into it, and I'm practicing to step out of it.
Yes.
And I think for me, it takes like a day now
Uh-huh.
to process it. So it should be possible in a second. But that's not better or worse. The thing that opened up in me is I want to discover how I can make a choice to step into it. Just now I don't have a choice. I fall into it.
But this is interesting because I like the choice idea, but the most people would not even consider to want to learn to step into it. They only want to step out of it. Yes. So why do you want to learn to step into it? Yes, to have a choice.
Because then I have a choice. I learned when my definition of a choice is that you can do it or not do it.
Uh-huh.
And both are an option.
Mm-hmm.
Because if one of the two is not an option or the bad option, it's not a choice.
Oh, that's true. And then you can always choose to not step into it, but you have the choice.
But then it's a paradox, I know. And like let's get to something where I really have a choice. Where do I really have a choice? To eat meat. I
To eat
cannot
you?
eat meat, but
Uh-huh.
I cannot eat meat for years or for hours or for days or for weeks or for months.
Uh-huh.
And I can choose to eat meat, which I did because I worked with Emanuele, and he eats meat
Ah,
like several times a day, and I made the choice to do what he does.
yes.
So I chose to eat meat. Within eating meat, I made the choice not to eat pork, with the exception of spaghetti alla carbonara. But those
Ah,
are
okay.
like really little.
But still.
So
Okay.
I dare to say I have a choice in eating meat, because I
Mm-hmm.
can do it or I cannot. So, for example, one of my choices is not to buy meat to cook it at home, and I
Yes.
don't. When somebody is living with us who really wants to eat meat, I buy it for this person. I like it even more when they buy it, but okay, I buy it
Mm-hmm.
because I really want to have it. So it's still a choice.
Yes.
Stepping into the realm of blaming and shaming, it's not a choice, because
Well,
a lot
it's
of times I fall into it
yes.
without choosing to step into it.
Yes. Because it's such a strong pattern.
Maybe, maybe.
And
I think it's a collective realm
yes.
where energy wise, it's very easy. Well, it's not easy because it's draining me a lot. But like resonating with it
Mm-hmm.
happens very easy.
Yes, I meant also a collective pattern because the matrix is programmed so much to step into blame and shame. Oh, he did it. Oh, look at this. Gossiping, feeling guilty, permission, all of it. It's really deeply rooted in society, humanity, whatever we call it. Yes. So it's very interesting that we found another path to freedom. Yes.
Yeah, but before we go there, because that's exactly what we are doing when we are looking at it now, asking permission.
Uh-huh.
Let's try this one. And I don't know. So I'm asking a question and I don't know the answer.
Okay.
Is the realm of blaming and shaming the only realm where you have to ask permission?
No, no. It feels like a no.
I also don't know, but let's explore. Let's say yes for the freaking fun of it. Because what triggers me is when I asked you, who do you have to ask permission?
Mm-hmm.
Then your answer is me.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately I have to question, who
Yes.
is this me? Where is this me living? So is that your me living in the realm of blaming, shaming, right and wrong? Or is it which facet of your me is to be asked permission?
That's a good question. Where is that me living? Well, it doesn't feel that it's only like the blaming and shaming realm. I think it's so deep in this me that it's part in more state of beings, more realms. But it's hard. It's a very good question because it takes time.
I'm in the same space.
Yes.
I don't know. Like I dare to say it lives in the realm of blaming and shaming and right and wrong. But in that realm, there's also this other word which
Mhm.
triggers me, and that's consent.
Ah, it's kind of the same idea,
It's kind of
right?
the same, and it's used more um, in settings that are connected with personal growth.
Yes.
Now, it has to be safe. We need consent first. And
Yes, it's
when I'm doing shamanic things,
hmm
I really do not use the consent thing.
No.
I'm, you know, what I call shamanic things. Like for example, I worked with a lady, and she sometimes people are sitting on a little chair, een krukje,
hmm
which is a magic krukje, and she fell off.
Okay. During a ceremony.
Yeah,
You okay.
because a lot of things were possible. It's kind of impossible to ask consent for what will happen because I don't know what will happen. I'm okay with everything that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally okay with everything that happens.
Mm-hmm.
It even goes, and I had to learn this from my teachers, that somebody will die in the ceremony. Because there's a lot of dying in shamanic ceremonies. And yeah, it could also be that the human says, okay, I'm done.
Yes, it's
It's an
possible.
option. If I would be afraid for this option, I can't do this work.
Mm-hmm. But
I
that's a
think that's one of
consent.
the reasons why a lot of people just don't do it, which is totally fine.
And that's consent from your side that you're okay with everything.
And I make a game out of it, like you do some preparation, like are you okay with dying? And then people say yes, but they say yes to something. They don't know where they say yes to.
No, that's true.
And then I tune in to a lot of frequencies,
Mm-hmm.
which I call a yes or a no. So is that asking permission?
Then we have to define what's asking permission. Is it like really with words and your voice and
Both.
yes.
Like I tune into the crystal butterfly, I tune into the crystal dragon, and I ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I ask, do I have permission to do this?
But
I
it's also
ask,
something, I mean,
I
you
ask,
feel, you can feel it. It's not that it's
yeah.
always with words. It's something you feel.
But it's the question, if you have to put it into words, is are we going to do this? I don't think it's about permission. I don't touch frequency of do you allow me to do this?
Mm-hmm.
If I have to put words to the frequency of the question, to the crystal butterfly and the crystal dragon, it's about are we going to do this? And sometimes I get a clear no.
So it's not about permission, but it's more about I would say joining forces, but that sounds like a war. So it's more
I like that. I like that. I merge. Are we going to merge?
yes, merging.
Yeah, that
Yes,
and weaving.
always comes back.
Yeah. By the way, I watched all the 3 seasons in one sit.
You watch all the 3 seasons of the series, The Discovery Witches. Oh my God. How many hours have you been in front
A
of
lot.
Netflix? Okay. For people listening, there was it's apparently it's still on Netflix because you
No,
know?
we don't have. No, no.
Okay,
I'm
there
not
was
allowed how I'm seeing it.
okay, doesn't matter. A series, the Discovery Witches, I think it's called. And that series, I loved a lot. It's about magic, literally. And in the story, they make it with the vampires and demons and witches. But okay, what did you
But you
like?
got you got the because there's a lot of drama and
I
there's a lot of
always, but
costumes and things and but um but what is the real quest almost from the beginning? Why is she so special? She is
why
the
is
last
Weaver?
because the powers of witches are
Um, for how you say forbidden,
declining. They get less and
declining.
less powerful. What about the vampire?
Mm, it's been a while since I saw, but it was,
They cannot sire anymore.
so everything is declining.
So they cannot create new vampire.
The
What
demons.
about the demons?
Uh,
They get
also-
mentally ill.
yes.
So everything is, what is the first, that's why I love to see something like in one go. What's the first sentence of the vampire before the series starts?
Now you're asking me questions.
My father always says, every end
Every end
is a new beginning.
is a new beginning. Which is true.
So after a lot of hours in drama, which I have a big choice in to step into or step out of,
Mm,
and I've chosen to step into it, there is like a board congregation where they decided like this hundreds and hundreds of years, they decided to separate the demons from the witches and the witches from the vampires.
vampires, yes.
So they were not allowed to mix. And they used the word mating. And they
Yes.
were definitely not allowed to mate.
Mm-hmm.
During the season, there is a witch born, a baby, out of
Yes.
two demons. And that's against everything. So this baby has to be killed because it's not allowed to mix creatures, and it's even not possible that two demons create a witch.
No, but two demons together was allowed because it's two demons.
Yeah, but if your child is a witch,
Yeah, that's
problem,
weird.
right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you have to get your baby killed
Yes.
because mixing is not allowed. So demons are not allowed to raise a witch. Our queen witch, where the whole series is about, Diana, is in love with
Vampire.
and the vampire is in love with her. And he also has a very strange disease because they killed all the vampires that got it, and that's called blood rage. And that's why the humans believe that vampires always kill warm bloods, as they say.
Yes.
But that's only a disease. And
Mm-hmm.
the vampires are killing everyone, every vampire that has blood rage. And the paradox is that the vampire that is killing all these blood rage infected vampires has blood rage.
Yeah, he has it himself.
But with
yes.
meditation and yoga and mind control, he learned to manage it. But he calls it a disease.
Mm-hmm.
And then the humans step in because they have a big laboratorium and they are trying to figure out on DNA level how to cure blood rage. And maybe also find the reason why witches are and demons and vampires declining in their powers.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, and slowly there are some nuggets, the human DNA is the reason for everything. Especially for the blood rage, by the way. So it's a thing in the human DNA. So it's not a vampire problem, but a human problem. And what I also like is that sometimes they say, you say that vampires are cruel, but look at your own humans.
Yes.
Because the humans, they are cruel. Demons are very bad No, 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 look at the humans. So I also like that one. And in the end, then we're going back to consent and to asking permission. Because they didn't mix for so long, and their DNAs were not mixed, not weaved, they lost all
That's
that.
why everything declined.
Yeah. So then we go back to we, you know. I've seen a lot of series in my life and I didn't like the endings, but this ending is like really, really profound. Because it's everything they were doing was against the aggregate, against what they made as rules.
Mm-hmm.
And even the people who were originally making the rules are like breaking all the rules. And there's a lot about permission, because they didn't have permission to mix. They didn't have permission to get a witch baby. They didn't have permission to protect. Like there is like a gay couple of old women, two witches. There are so many like things that you don't get permission for in this whole series of the Weavers. And they just did it. And then they found the truth. Then they found the power. And of course, you and me can very much relate to the powers that this Diana has with her. She's the last weaver, like biggest power, because you
Yes.
can connect to all the elements, for example.
And they make it beautiful.
Most witches just have one element.
Yes, and the way she was weaving everything, they make very beautiful visible in the series. That's what I really loved about it.
But also the end, right? That they had to weave all the creatures.
Yes.
To become healthy, to become strong. So it's not Darwin, the survival of the fittest, but it's like it's working together and creating a community of different species. So they didn't ask permission. Well, they asked permission sometimes, but it was like fully declined, because that's not according to the law. That's how we protect ourselves. Why do we have a law? To protect ourselves. So we have to follow the law. So you don't have permission.
But
so
then
in which realm did they ask permission? An old realm.
yes.
Annemarie, an old realm that's not working anymore. It worked before, but it doesn't serve us anymore.
No, and they also then permission in this example is related to not living who you are, because they were also limiting themselves with all those rules and things, and so weakening themselves and their powers.
And that's why I loved your answer in the beginning, that you said, well, I have to ask permission to myself. Because what we are experiencing is that the whole journey to the inner world is about learning who you really are.
Yes.
The boundaries are built by you. They're not built by someone else. They are built by you. You used things that somebody else has thrown at you or said to you or gave you an experience in. You used it because there's still the voice of your mom, there's still the voice of your dad, there's still the voice of other people inside of our heads. So we are using those voices.
Mm-hmm.
And some in the beginning, it's easy to think that they are using you, but there's nothing outside of you stronger than you, so you are using them.
Also true.
And then you strip it down to me, asking permission to me.
And it also goes together with purity, because if you are not pure, then everything is foggy, and you don't see, literally. So then it comes probably also more easy to start asking permission for things. But it's like we also said many times, if you can live more and more pure, then things are clear. And permission is not even a question.
I'm when we look at this like this, when you got clarity, when it's crystal clear,
Yes.
you're stepping out of any realm where permission exists.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yes.
Yeah, and the clarity is in your stomach and in your heart. It's not your mind will recognize clarity, but I dare to say that you cannot create clarity with your mind.
No.
So
That's true. I agree.
So all the realms where the mind is like really busy, I dare to say that you step into a realm of asking permission, which is not right or wrong. I'm just trying to make a
open the curtains a bit.
But when my stomach and my heart, when it's crystal clear for me, something, I'm not asking permission. I'm not even into the ability to think about that.
No, and for sure not to yourself, to no one, and not to yourself, because it's not there.
It
Exactly.
evaporates. Yeah.
Yes, it's totally evaporated. Yes. And it goes, it's also in the same time we said, flow, freedom, it's total freedom.
Well,
when you're in that realm.
Yeah, but that's like really goosebumps. If I'm in a realm where the whole permission thing doesn't live, I'm free.
Yes.
And I also experience abundance.
Yes. But it's inseparable.
It's all connected. Yes. Yes. Wow. Wow.
Because freedom is abundance.
Yeah, and you don't even have a question about flexibility. Just for people who are tuning in for the first time in the podcast, we also talked a lot about the sequence of flexibility. And if you're not flexible, you cannot step into flow. If there is flow, you experience freedom. And when you've got all these things, there is abundance. You cannot search for abundance if you're not flexible. If you have to ask permission for everything, you're not flexible.
So this sounds again like an easy path. Huh?
Let's just pretend to the listeners it's easy. I think it's easy. It's not simple.
Yes,
I think
that's
it's the most easy way
yes.
of doing life. And it's just sometimes difficult and hard to choose the realm of easy.
Yes, but it's very only already the idea, which is mind, that every human has the choice to step into the realm of blame, shame, permission, or step out of it, is already massive freedom, that you are aware and that you start recognizing it when you fall into it. For example, I'm falling into it again.
Yeah.
That already is that are big steps.
Yes. Yeah.
To choosing.
Those are very little steps with a big, huge meaning, and it puts a lot of things in motion.
Yes. So I think I'm going to practice this week to be aware for every time I see that I'm asking permission to me, because it is mostly me to ask permission to.
Yeah, let's just do this experiment. That every time you are aware of the fact that you are asking permission to yourself, something else, well, you are going to airplanes. You are going into an administrative talk about Switzerland. So it's all about asking permission, right? You have to have the right stamp. If you don't have the right stamp, you don't have permission to enter. If you don't have the right passport, you don't have. If you don't have the ticket, you don't have permission to enter the plane. If you don't have a driver license, you cannot rent a car. You're not permitted.
Yeah. I go by car to Switzerland, but yes, I know now you say, I realize I need to buy things to be able to drive there, the vignette thing, because otherwise I'm not allowed to drive the highway.
Let's just play with it. Like choosing to look freely at it without blaming and shaming, making it right or wrong, that you need permission or you are asking permission. Just observe it and then step out of it. And then step into it. And then step out of it. And then step into it.
But then it sounds again like playing, step in, step out whenever you want. Then it becomes playing around, becomes a game, which is lovely since all of this life is supposed to be a game.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I feel a lot of lightness, like I don't have to solve anything. I don't have to become the person who is not asking permission for anything anymore, because then I'm in the wrong realm. Yeah. Let's play with it.
Yes. I think I have the perfect week for it.
Me too.
Yes, you too?
Yeah, because I have a lot of freedom next week.
A lot of?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Okay. Space.
Yes.
Time.
Okay. Yes, and I will be in another world. Well, Switzerland is also another world, but also the meetings I have there is going to be very different from my usual days in the last months.
I'm sure that you and me will have a giggle out loud or inside when somebody asks, yeah, but you don't have permission to.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
We have to ask permission to the director.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
yes.
I have a big question for you.
It's a beautiful topic because it is also something that we are very unaware of usually, because asking permission is like breathing. It's so part of our day. It has become such a big part of our DNA. So it's wonderful. It's another thing that everyone can use to literally become lighter, bring light into yourself and breathe different. And so become more free inside. You will feel it, because asking permission also feels like you feel it here.
It's fresh. It feels like fresh. So let's find out if it's also fun to ask permission.
Fun to ask permission. Well, if we make a game of everything.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it will be fun.
So, what is your answer to my big question?
The definition of love is to be without permission. just to be. Like the sun, the river, the tree, the rabbit, everything.
Mm.
Completely rooted in everything, connected with everything. Permission will not be even there.
Wow.
And what is your answer to my big question about what is awareness to you?
The definition of awareness. Well, I'm actually writing a book. I'm not writing it.
Oh.
I'm channeling my crystal butterfly.
This is news.
Yeah, it's a little teaser. And there is also a book coming out written by Dragon.
The crystal dragon.
Well, I think I'm going to interview all the dragons I know.
Felt this one coming. Okay.
So the dragons will write it. But it's after working with the crystal butterfly. And she is never asking permission. Because she's so aware of the power of a gentle invite. So my definition of awareness is very soft. That's why I was so touched by this harsh conversation about blaming and shaming. Awareness is gentle and very, very, very powerful. So it's outside the world of permission, because you can always invite someone or something.
Mm-hmm.
So my definition of awareness now is to step back, to allow everything. So you are aware of as much as you can be aware of, and then let this spark of invitation arrive. And then be aware of what happens. So I'm stepping away from planting a seed,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm bringing my whole awareness to a gentle invitation. That's my current practice.
That is, so it's also planting a seed is doing. Gentle invitation is being.
Yep, I can feel that one.
Wow. Thanks. This is going to be a new magical week, I think.
It will be. So what about next week, just for the people who are like in this weekly
Yes. Maybe if we can find another moment, we can put everything live on Friday.
Let's just find out.
Yes, we'll see. It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
If there will be a podcast next week or not. And otherwise, the week after, yes, seguro.
Very nice. So maybe until next week.
Maybe. See. And have a wonderful week. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.